Hi guys! So today I wanted to do a little bit of a different kind of style of video. I've been doing like trying on new makeup or doing kind of like basic makeup routines in the past few videos. And so today I kind of wanted to do something different. I want to take a look at some makeup products that I've heard tons of people raving about that I personally don't really see the hype and don't really understand the hype, I guess, for these products. So I don't have like too many. I just kind of jotted down a few that came to mind. I personally don't buy new makeup products unless I'm running out of that certain product. So I won't buy like mascara unless I'm running out of mascara. So all these products I'm going to talk about here are products I have tried that I just didn't see the hype about. Like personally, they just weren't for me. So first off, you guys could probably see this coming because you know in my other videos I have talked about the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, specifically the Hydrating Camo Concealer, because I used it in my other videos, and I was talking about how it just gets patchy on me. So basically what I mean is like I'll dot it on my under eye, and if I don't blend it out right then and there, it gets like a bald patch where I put down the original little dab of concealer. So that's pretty annoying. Ideally, the part where I first put down the concealer, I want it to be the most pigmented and have the most like highest coverage, and that's just not what's happening. I did use it all up. Like I said, I didn't want to be wasteful, and it wasn't like that bad. It just was like annoying. I had to blend it out right away every single time. I did also try the original Camo Concealer. I tried it like a few years ago. I did not like, I literally used it like 3 times, did not like it. My under eyes, I do have some fine lines on my under eyes. The original Camo Concealer was so drying, like it would sit for a minute and it would just be caked into those lines. Huge crevices, like it was not a pretty sight. It looked awful. It looked just so dry. So I gave it to my sister, but I'm not a fan of either of those. I would maybe repurchased the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I had like kind of a pinkish shade and it was too light. I think it was called like Rose Light or something like that. Too light, too pink. So like maybe if I changed the color up, like you wouldn't notice the creasing and stuff as much, and maybe I just had a bad tube and that's why I was getting patchy. So like maybe I'd try that one again, but the original Camo Concealer, like I don't think we're gonna go back to that one ever again. Next up is the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Setting Powder. I used to use this when I was in high school, and I knew nothing about makeup then. I would only wear like concealer and sometimes foundation, and if I don't know, it was weird. If I wasn't wearing concealer and if I wasn't wearing foundation, I would use the powder to just like even out my skin, and I was super oily in high school. So I just put powder on my bare skin, and like I wasn't moisturizing. I was using a bar of soap to clean my face. But back then I was like, yeah, this stuff's great, because like I didn't know any better. But I know that I don't like the Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder. It's not for me. I like setting like kind of like this area and like this area, but I won't really set my under eyes. I'll just tap them with like a light dusting of setting powder. If that, a lot of times I just leave it. Like today there's nothing on it. I set the rest of my face today with the Hourglass setting powder. Anyways, the Rimmel powder did the exact opposite of what this powder does. It looked chalky, and not chalky in that like it left like a color or something. It just like, if you looked up close, it looked like a skin colored like chalk over my skin. It looked so textured. And then I found if I put setting spray on, and like a little, you know how sometimes little like kind of globs of the setting spray kind of sometimes fall on your face, fall on your makeup. If that ever happened, that area would break apart. The makeup would just break, and it was only when I used this powder. And the powder would also get even more chalky, if anything, and just look really like crusty and broken apart. I only use the hydrating setting sprays, so it should not be getting chalky and dry looking, but that's what was happening with the powder. And it was only, like I said, when I used that powder. And then if I use a damp beauty sponge, and after I do like my bronzer, blush, things like that, I'll kind of like pat out the edges with a damp sponge. Cannot do that with that powder. Same thing happens where it like breaks apart, gets super chalky and textured and just disgusting. So that's not something that I'm gonna purchase again. It wasn't worth it. I've heard people say for more of like a natural look, go for pressed powders. I just find that the loose setting powders just blur things so much better and the texture is better, which is weird because I've heard people say like that typically loose powders are heavier, but like, I don't know, I find when I use pressed powders, that's generally speaking when things look heavier. The Hourglass is like the only exception I've found so far. Moving on. This one's gonna be, I think, a little bit controversial. It's just like the amount of hype that the Fenty Gloss Bomb lip glosses gets. No, not like, they're nice, they look beautiful. They're quite expensive. You don't get like that much product, but like regardless of that, okay? People say they like the taste and the smell. No. No. I have a thing against like fake watermelon scents, and to me that smells like the fakest watermelon, does not taste good. The smell is like almost nauseating to me. I do not like it. And I hear people talking about how much they love the smell and how that's like part of the whole experience. No. No, it takes away from the experience for me. I do not like it. As much as the glosses themselves are beautiful, like I just don't ever lean towards purchasing them because I really just don't like the taste and smell. I'd rather buy something that has more of like more of the coffee, chocolate, kind of those flavors and things I like more of like the baked goods kind of flavors. But when it's like fruity, I don't know, even mint. I like mint flavored things. Do that, but like don't do these like fake watermelon. No. Ugh. Same with like fake cucumber. I'm sorry. Those type of scents and flavors, absolutely not. Also, I'm sorry, this is my little tomato. His name's Tomater, and I realized I'm sitting too close to him and he's kind of like wobbling around as I move because I'm bumping into him. Let's move on to the next one here. I do currently own the BECCA Champagne Pop highlighter, okay? When I heard BECCA was going to be closing its doors in September, and I'd never tried any other products, and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna try one product, it's gotta be Champagne Pop, obviously. So I was like, okay, looked at it in the store, absolutely beautiful, like swatches beautifully, everything. But of course, because it's COVID, I couldn't try it on my skin. And because of that, I didn't really exactly get that good of an idea of how that tone particularly would look on my skin. And so got home, tried it on my skin. It works still for my skin tone. It's not like it's too dark or too light or something like that, but the Champagne Pop to me has quite of like a peachy, there's like an orangeness to it. And I don't know why, but I just prefer more true pink kind of highlighters with my skin tone. The formula of the BECCA Champagne Pop is beautiful. I love using it as an inner corner, highlighting like my brow bone, but that's not really the color I want. I just prefer a little bit more pink. The Ghost Edit lighting palette from Hourglass that I was talking about, it has a really subtle pink highlighter in there, and the tone of that one is perfect. So I would definitely like buy another BECCA highlighter. It just would be one of their maybe slightly more pink toned highlighters. And it is kind of bizarre. I feel like my skin's like neutral, slightly leaning warmer. So you'd think more that warmer orangey kind of tone highlighter is something I would prefer, but that's just not how it is. Okay, on to the second last one. So we have the Butter Bronzer. This breaks my heart to say it, but I've tried one of them and it was not my favorite experience. The smell is amazing, and it really does have like that sunscreen kind of beachy smell, which I love, but I think the shade that I bought it in was really off. And it was too orange. I do not like orange leaning bronzers, I've discovered. I prefer like neutral, honestly maybe even a little bit cooler. I do like to like warm up my face, but I just find if something's leaning even like slightly orange, it gets like muddy looking and it looks like I just chose the wrong foundation color. Like it doesn't look right. And the shade I got was quite orange leaning, so didn't like that about it. Gave it to my sister because she prefers more of that kind of color with the bronzer. but I don't know if it was also the shade that was causing this to happen, but it was looking patchy. Like it was not looking great. Maybe it was the brush I was using, but like I use the brushes with the Hourglass palette that I have, and it blends out like seamlessly. I don't know. It just got patchy, muddy looking. The color wasn't right. So I would definitely and have considered buying another butter bronzer in more of like a neutral, cooler tone. They have those new ones that are like, the packaging's like for like a cookie, and then another one is packaged like a donut, and another one's packaged like an espresso or something like that. They are so cute. I was tempted to buy like the donut one or the cookie one, but we'll see. Maybe after this I'll check to see if they're back in stock and give one of those a try. They're a little bit cheaper than the original butter bronzer though, which like makes me wonder if the quality is gonna be as good, but we'll see. And last but not least for this brief video, I have the Bite lipsticks and lip crayons, and I'm just grouping them all together. I'm not like giving a specific color, although I did only try like one color of the lipstick and one of the lip crayons. They were moisturizing, and I know people always hype up like the Bite lip products, that's what they're known for, but I didn't find them as moisturizing as I wanted them to be, you know? Like, they weren't as comfortable as I wanted them to be either. I don't know, I don't really know what else to say. Like, I'm kind of curious about just trying a different color, but there was just, it wasn't that they were bad by any means, it just, I didn't get the hype, like even just with the texture and the amount of moisture in them and stuff. So I don't know, honestly, it's not something that I'm like looking to purchase another one of. Whereas like the butter bronzer, for example, I am looking to get another one and give that a try again. So let me know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments if there are some products that are super hyped up that you've tried and you don't like, or that maybe you haven't even tried, but it's just super hyped products that you look at and you just wonder why. And then I also think it'd be fun to do a video where I talk about products that don't get the hype I think they deserve. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye!